Something stirs in the night. A shadow moves. Is it real or just a trick of the mind? The world is full of stories whispered in hushed tones, tales of creatures that lurk in the darkness. These are the cryptids, the unseen things that haunt our imagination. They are the monsters under the bed, the beasts in the woods. We tell their stories to scare each other, but what if they are more than just stories? For centuries, we have been fascinated by the unknown. We have searched for evidence of these creatures, seeking proof of their existence, but the evidence is often elusive, a fleeting glimpse, a blurry photograph, a footprint in the sand. These glimpses into the darkness only fuel our curiosity. They remind us that there are still mysteries in the world, things that we cannot explain. The year is 2024. Something strange is happening. Reports of cryptid sightings are on the rise. From the depths of Loch Ness to the forests of North America, people are claiming to see something unexplainable. Some dismiss it as hype, a product of our always connected world. But others believe that something is stirring. They believe that the monsters are real. One thing is for sure, the truth is out there, somewhere in the shadows. The internet hums with stories of strange encounters. A hiker in the Himalayas claims to have seen a yeti, its eyes glowing in the darkness. A fisherman in the Gulf of Mexico reports a giant squid, its tentacles longer than a school bus. These stories are coming from all over the world, from every corner of the globe. They are coming from credible sources, from people who have no reason to lie. Is it a coincidence, or is something else going on? Some experts believe that the rise in cryptid sightings could be attributed to a number of factors. Climate change, for example, is forcing animals into new territories, bringing them into contact with humans in ways that we have never seen before. The destruction of natural habitats is also playing a role, as animals are forced to search for food and shelter in closer proximity to humans. Whatever the reason, one thing is clear: the monsters are back, and they are not going away. Our story begins in the Scottish Highlands, a land of rugged beauty and ancient mystery. For centuries, this land has been home to stories of strange creatures and unexplained phenomena. It is a place where the veil between our world and the next is thin, where the impossible seems possible. We follow a group of cryptozoologists, scientists who study cryptids, as they embark on an expedition to Loch Ness. They are here to investigate the latest sightings of the Loch Ness Monster, a creature that has captured the imagination of the world for generations. The team is led by Dr. Emily Carter, a brilliant but unorthodox scientist who has dedicated her life to proving the existence of cryptids. She is joined by Dr. James Blackwood, a skeptical biologist who is along for the ride, and Liam O'Connell, a local guide who knows the loch like the back of his hand. They are an unlikely team, but they are united by a common goal: to find the truth. The expedition begins at the ruins of Urquhart Castle, its crumbling walls overlooking the dark waters of the loch. The air is thick with the smell of peat and the sound of the wind whistling through the heather. The loch itself is a forbidding sight, its dark waters stretching out as far as the eye can see. The surface of the water is still like a sheet of black glass. Liam tells them stories of the loch, tales of kelpies and water horses, of creatures that lure unsuspecting travelers to their deaths. He speaks in hushed tones, his voice barely a whisper above the wind. He has lived by the loch his entire life, and he knows that it is a place of both beauty and danger. The team sets up their equipment on the shores of the loch, their high-tech sonar and cameras pointed out at the water. They are hoping to catch a glimpse of the creature, to record evidence of its existence. But as the hours turn into days, the loch remains silent. The only movement is the occasional ripple of water, the only sound the cry of a lonely bird. Section 5, The Beast of Legend. Legend has it that the Loch Ness Monster is a plesiosaur, a long-necked marine reptile that is thought to have gone extinct millions of years ago. But Emily believes that the creature is something else entirely. She believes that it is something ancient and powerful, something that has been lurking in the depths of the loch since the beginning of time. As the sun begins to set, casting long shadows across the water, Emily feels a chill run down her spine. She can't shake the feeling that they are being watched. She scans the water with her binoculars, but she sees nothing. The loch is still and silent, as if it is holding its breath. That night, as the team huddles around a campfire, Liam tells them the story of the Ich Uiske, a shape-shifting water spirit that can take on the form of a horse or a handsome man. It is said to lure its victims to their deaths by offering them rides on its back. Once the victim is on its back, it gallops into the loch, dragging them down to a watery grave. Section 6. A glimmer in the murk. The next morning, the team is awakened by a strange sound. It is a low rumble like the sound of distant thunder. They rush to the shore of the loch, their hearts pounding with anticipation. The water is churning as if something large is moving beneath the surface. Suddenly, a long serpentine neck emerges from the water. It is covered in scales, and its eyes are the size of dinner plates. The creature lets out a deafening roar that echoes across the loch, sending a flock of birds scattering into the sky. Emily, James, and Liam stare in awe and terror as the creature disappears back into the depths of the loch. Section 7. The roar in the night. That night, the storm breaks. Rain lashes against the windows of the old stone cottage where the team is taking shelter. The wind howls down the chimney, sending sparks flying across the room. Emily, James, and Liam huddle around a crackling fire, their faces illuminated by the flickering flames. They are all shaken by what they saw that day. James, the skeptic, is struggling to reconcile his scientific mind with the impossible creature that he witnessed. Liam, the man of the land, seems to have aged 10 years in the space of a day. He knows that the loch can be a dangerous place, but he has never seen anything like this before. Emily, however, is ecstatic. She has spent her entire life searching for proof of the existence of cryptids, and now she has it. But her excitement is tempered by a growing sense of dread. She knows that they have stumbled upon something ancient and powerful, something that is best left undisturbed. Section 8. Encounters in the Mist. The next morning, the storm has passed, but a thick fog hangs over the loch, obscuring everything from view. The air is heavy with moisture and the ground is slick with mud. The team decides to venture out onto the loch in their boat, hoping to catch another glimpse of the creature. The fog is so thick that they can barely see 10 feet in front of them. The silence is broken only by the gentle lapping of the water against the sides of the boat. Suddenly, the boat lurches violently, throwing the team off balance. They hear a deafening roar, closer this time, and the sound of something large moving in the water around them. The boat is tossed about like a toy, and the team clings on for dear life. Emily catches a fleeting glimpse of something large and dark disappearing into the fog. Then, just as suddenly as it began, the attack is over. Section 9. The truth beneath the waves. They return to the shore, shaken and terrified. James is convinced that they need to leave, that they are in over their heads. Liam is inclined to agree with him, but Emily is determined to stay. She knows that they are close to uncovering the truth about the Loch Ness Monster. That night, Emily can't sleep. She's haunted by the sound of the creature's roar and the image of its massive form disappearing into the fog. She decides to go down to the loch by herself, hoping to catch another glimpse of the creature. She stands on the shore, staring out at the water. The fog has cleared and the moon is high in the sky, casting an eerie glow on the water. Suddenly she sees something moving towards her. It is a large, dark shape just below the surface of the water. Section 10. A primal fear. As the shape gets closer, Emily realizes that it is not the creature that they saw before. This creature is different, it is much larger, and its eyes are glowing red. Emily feels a primal fear grip her heart as she realizes that this is not a creature of this world. It is something ancient and evil, something that has been summoned from the depths of the earth. The creature rises up out of the water, its massive form towering over Emily. It opens its mouth and Emily can see rows of razor-sharp teeth. She knows that she is about to die, but just as the creature is about to strike, there is a blinding flash of light. Emily closes her eyes against the glare, and when she opens them again, the creature is gone. Standing in its place is Liam, his face pale and his eyes wide with terror. Section 11. The hunt continues. Liam tells Emily that he saw the creature attacking her, and he came to help. He doesn't know what it was, but he knows that it was not something that should exist in this world. Emily and Liam return to the cottage, shaken and terrified. They tell James what happened, but he doesn't believe them. He thinks they are both delusional, driven mad by the stress of the expedition. The next morning, Emily, James and Liam pack up their equipment and leave Loch Ness. They return to their lives, forever changed by what they experienced. James continues to deny the existence of the creature, but Emily and Liam know the truth. They know that there is something dark and dangerous lurking in the depths of Loch Ness, and they know that it is only a matter of time before it rises again. The monsters are real, and they are out there.